Hello everybody, welcome back to 366 Days of Hope. My name is Pearl and I'm here to share our next video, which is midnight planning. I call it midnight planning, but it's not really midnight. It's just continuously meal prepping and again on that topic. So I'm going to be sharing a recipe here on making basically what they call cauliflower steaks. I am going to show you guys some sauces that I made, basically using tofu, some fresh dill, and hopefully it turns out the way they wanted. So the other day, if you guys were watching, I ended up making a cilantro sauce using refried beans, and I still have some left over, so I'm also going to use that and pair it with the tofu cream that I ended up making for this dish. So let's hop to it.
If I could redo this again, I would probably prefer using a small blender like a bullet to have done this. It probably would have packed in a lot easier and would have been a little bit more efficient. I ended up basically adding in a half a tofu block. I added some paprika, some olives, some black pepper, as well as a little bit of onion powder, and I added some Italian seasoning there, and of course I chopped up fresh dill, and I really minced it quite fine so that way it didn't get caught in the blender, and then I just tossed that right into the batch, and then I added some lemon, and I ended up actually adding a little bit more lemon at the end and reblended it, and then I added olive and just kept processing it through until it was nice and creamy. I added a little bit of water as well just to make sure that it was all liquefied. And the end result was awesome. It turned out really amazing actually, and it was delicious, and it paired well with everything. So here's the butter that I ended up using to basically baste my cauliflower. So I just heated it for about 12 seconds and then made sure that it just melted the rest naturally rather than like trying to burn it. Then I added the leftover dill. I added some onion powder. I ended up putting in a tiny pinch of salt in there, and then I just mixed everything together, and it really tasted amazing, and it was really, really good. Unfortunately, I did run out later of it, but here I am just chopping up the rest of the cauliflower, and here I am just basting it. And again, I didn't have a fancy brush, so I just basically went with the spoon and just kind of drizzled it on top of it. And it still turned out really great nonetheless. But I will have to say, depending on your oven, each person will have to kind of adjust the temperature. 425 is plenty, but it didn't seem to cook it as thoroughly as I thought it would, or at least brown it as well as I thought. So I think our oven probably has some problems, but anyways, so I suggest like cooking it at a decently high temperature, and make sure that you baste both sides at 15-minute intervals. And so it turned out a little bit browner at the very end, so I was very happy with that, although I would have liked to have had it a little bit more brown, but honestly, time constraints, I really needed to get to bed. But it turned out amazing, and it was delicious.
Well guys, this concludes our roasted cauliflowers, and they look amazing. Fortunately, it's a bit late and I'm not going to eat anything because I don't like to eat anything late at night, but this is just a really quick way to basically prepare it, and then the very next day you can just pack it up, put it on, you know, your salads, which maybe I'll show tomorrow what I do, and that way you guys can sort of see the process. But thank you guys so much for joining, and with that said, may you live, thrive, and be healthy. Take care, guys. Bye.